Hey, what is up everybody? It's WG Gaming or Wise Guy, and today I want to talk about Battlefield 5, what we know about it, and maybe what we can expect from it. Now, this is all pretty much going off if it's a World War I game, which so far people think it is. And it probably is, based on the leaks and stuff. But, again, if it's not, then by the time you watch this video, if it's not, don't even bother watching. Actually, you should watch it because it's still cool, you know, because I'm cool like that. But, anyways, we're going to be talking about what to expect in Battlefield 5. So the first thing we're going to talk about that we'll probably see in Battlefield 5 is the equipment. What we're probably going to be seeing is an ammo box, probably, because considering they've had that in quite a few battlefields, and although it may be World War II, you'd still probably run out of ammo every now and then, so that's a pretty safe bet. Next up, we probably have the mortars, or some sort of artillery. Maybe that'd be a battlefield pickup. You would probably see that though. World War II, that was the first time they used large-scale artillery for the most part. You know, cannons getting shot from cliff sides and in the trenches, landing in other people's. Another thing we'd probably see are the defibrillators back in action. It is World War I, but they probably won't take out the defibs. They might do what they did in Battlefield Hardline, like if you get shot in the head or if you get knifed, you can't get revived. But I feel like you'll get shot in the head a lot, because again, this is all based if it's on World War I. In World War I, most of the time you didn't take your full body up to look around. You usually get behind the trench, you sort of crawl your way up the top, you sort of peek over with your little shitty ass hat that you think's going to protect you, and then you get shot in the head. But another thing we're going to have are the medic bags. Again, like if you get hurt, if you get revived, these will probably be a big thing in the game. I really feel like they'll come back. The mine is another big thing. The people like mines, but again, if this is World War I, there were battles before trench warfare. And they did have mines, and even then, like, maybe they'll have trip mines, maybe you'll, like, step on it, and it'll be like a Bouncy Betty from Call of Duty. It'll pop up and blow you up. Now, also, we have the repair tool. There are vehicles, like, which I'll get to in my next point, you know, like planes and stuff like that. But you'll probably want to repair those and stuff. So, I have a safe bet that those will be in there as well. And we'll probably have rocket launchers, some sort of like RPG-like thing. Probably not any lock-ons, because, you know, obviously it's World War I. And even in World War II, we wouldn't see any lock-ons, probably. But, so I think like an RPG, or like maybe pickup. Again, like a lot of these, I feel like they'd be pickup items. And now we're going to be moving on to the smoke. Or some sort of like a smoke, and like this is the final item, but a smoke or like a poison gas, like mustard gas. Because, you know, mustard gas, like, they use that in trench warfare. Maybe I don't really have an example, but maybe you'd also be able to, like, you know, like maybe what's on the guy on screen. Maybe, like, his helmet or something. Maybe you have a gas mask you can pull on. Something like that. And so, yeah. So, I feel like that would be it, mostly. That we can use. These are all using examples from Battlefield 4. What we have in Battlefield 4. These are examples from what in Battlefield 4 we could see in Battlefield 5, Battlefield World War I, whatever you want to call it. Alright, next we're going to be moving on to the vehicles. Now what I feel like we'd see here is on screen here is some sort of like Jeep. Like they had, I guess this was like the first time they really used vehicles like on a large scale in warfare. Because, you know, cars hadn't been along that time. We might see Jeeps, like they won't be very fast. But I really do feel like we'd see some sort of Jeep. And, you know. So next we're moving on to the planes. On screen I'll have a few planes. But again, think of like World War I. These are going to be really old planes. You know, like the Red Baron planes. You know, like 3 wings. 2-3 wing spans and stuff. Layers. And, you know, machine guns firing. And like the propellers and stuff. You won't see like jets or anything. Because, I mean, okay, that's common sense. You won't see jets. But, you know, so I have on screen here and a few jets and stuff. But again, think airplanes. Not jets, airplanes. Next, and the final thing I think we'd probably see would be tanks. We might see, like, some sort of anti-aircraft gun. But that, I'm skeptical. I really think we'll see tanks, though. Because tanks, this was the first time we ever saw them in combat. This is like when they were invented, armored cars, stuff like that. This is the first time they were invented, was tanks. Obviously, they're going to be a lot different from like modern day tanks and stuff. They maybe won't shoot as fast. The machine guns will probably suck. But it'd still be really cool to see all this stuff like in a World War I battlefield. So that's probably all they would have in the sorts of like vehicles and stuff. But who knows? Maybe we'll probably see more. Now, the final thing I'm probably going to discuss about is the weapons we'll probably see. First thing I'm going to show on screen is a knife. Knife is a necessity. It goes back all the way to the medieval ages, all the way back to the Stone Age, everything. They always have some sort of knives, weapons, something like that. And the reason I'm showing the Scout one is it's what looks like it'd be in World War One. Nice, very simplistic. And below it, below it, if you look closely, is the improvised. I was going to show that, but then I think that's more like a survival type of game because it's, it's just sort of stitched together. But Scout, I really feel like we'd see because, as it says, a traditional Swedish Scout knife in laminated steel can be used in the field to steal an enemy's dog tags. And I feel like dog tags will definitely make a comeback because this was the first time they were in there as well. But they won't be like the rectangle ones. They'll be like the circle ones that they have, which are, by the way, are very cool. And I think it'd be really cool to see old-fashioned dog tags, and like their old hats that they had in World War II that everyone thought would protect them, and they were just basically a waste of money and stuff. But I wonder what the campaign. Anyways, we're getting off topic. But the Scout knife, I really feel like it will be in there because it's nice and simplistic. Next, we're going to move on to the LMGs. Yes, LMGs in World War II. Now, for those of you that are historians or know a little bit about World War I, machine guns first appeared. A lot of the stuff we see today first appeared in World War One. But the reason I'm saying this is they won't probably be able to like run around with. I could see why they might let you, but again, most of the time there's none of these will probably have a lot of many attachments. But I feel like they could make it work. But the reason I'm saying LMGs is because they used LMGs mainly first in World War One. And they had the bipods on them, and they put them up over the trenches, and when the whistle blew and they'd go over the top and rush the other, they would start lighting them up with the machine guns and those mortars and everything. But on screen, I have a few different LMGs. I have the Type 88 LMG, and then I also have the PK Picheng, which is the first one you saw. I feel like the Type 88 would be a better example because it's very nice and simplistic. But anyways, next, moving on, we're going to be using weapons, handguns, like sidearms. I couldn't really think of a good example. I guess I could have included the 1911 in here, but I don't know, that's a little iffy. That was more 20s and stuff like that. But the thing I'm showing is the 44 Magnum, and the reason is revolvers were around in the Civil War. So I don't, personally, I haven't seen that many photos with like generals and stuff with revolvers, but I feel like they'd add a revolver because, the revolvers, they'd sort of done their time. They weren't as popular, now in World War II because they had some semi-automatic pistols. But a revolver, I really feel like they could do, And next, we're gonna moving on to the rifles. Now on screen is the M40A5 from Battlefield 4 because all these things are from Battlefield 4. This looks like a rifle we would see, only hyped up a little bit. I especially like the bandaging on it, and I put the iron sights on for effect, because most of these will probably only have iron sights, or maybe like an ACOG scope, something like that. Or maybe a rifle scope, but I feel like they'd have it like dirt on it and stuff, because it's trench warfare, But I really want to emphasize on these, because rifles were like the main thing, and they probably have like the Scout knife I showed in the very beginning. Bayonet maybe on it. Maybe you could when you go to knife someone, you can put your knife on there and you just bayonet them in the back or in the front, and maybe they can't counter it if you use that as an attachment. And next we're going to be moving on to the shotguns. And in World War I do believe they did have shotguns. And this is a great example, the 870 MCS. It's pump action. They even have a trench shotgun. They use that a lot in World War II, but I feel like they could use shotguns. I say that a lot, I feel like. Anyways, they use shotguns quite a bit, nowadays, like for doing close quarters combat. Pump action would probably be the way to go, not semi-automatic, because not that much stuff was semi-automatic until World War II. Even LMGs, they're full auto, but you can fire those on burst. But shotguns, pump action, not like, what's a good example? Anyways, they have like multiple shotguns that are like semi-automatic. And again, it wouldn't be like a clip shotgun like the... Man, I gotta remember these names better. But anyways, there's a shotgun in Battlefield 4 that has a clip on it. I don't think we'd see that because, mainly because, it's World War I. So we'd probably see ones where you have to load a shell in hand by hand. And yeah, I think that's what we would see. So anyways, guys, that covers pretty much everything. So I hope you guys did find this interesting. I hope you guys did enjoy. And I'll see you guys in my next talk.